Have you ever wondered how sweetened condensed milk is actually made? That creamy, sugary ingredient found in so many of our favorite desserts? It's a staple in baking around the world, and for good reason. Sweetened condensed milk is made by taking regular milk, removing a good portion of its water content, and adding a hefty amount of sugar. And when I say sugar, I mean a lot. This gives it that rich, sweet flavor we all love and also acts as a natural preservative. That's right, it doesn't even need to be refrigerated because the sugar keeps it from spoiling easily. Pretty clever, huh? This ingredient first made its way to Brazil back in the 19th century, a time when refrigeration wasn't common. And guess what? People instantly loved it. It was just so practical. Today, Brazil is the second largest producer of sweetened condensed milk in the world, making over 650,000 tons each year. In fact, it's estimated that 9 out of 10 Brazilian households have it in their kitchen. That's how much people love this sweet treat. It even led to the invention of some iconic desserts like brigadeiro and beijinho, classics at any birthday party in Brazil. On average, each Brazilian consumes about 6.4 kilograms of sweetened condensed milk per year. That's a lot of sugar. But how exactly is it made? In today's video, we're going to take a look at the whole process, from the moment the milk is collected fresh from the cow to when it becomes that thick, sweet, velvety liquid you find on store shelves. We'll show how it's prepared, packaged, and shipped, ready for your next dessert recipe. Oh, and by the way, my name's Vita, and you're watching TudTech HD. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our new content. Here's a fun fact. Sweetened condensed milk was actually invented out of necessity. Back then, storing milk was a real challenge, especially in places without refrigeration. The solution came from an American named Gail Borden, an inventor and newspaper editor. He came up with the idea of creating a more concentrated, shelf-stable version of milk. And it worked. It all started when Gail Borden took a ship voyage and witnessed something that deeply affected him: children suffering because they didn't have access to fresh milk. At the time, milk would spoil quickly, and that was a huge problem. So he thought, there has to be a way to preserve milk for longer. That's when he got the idea to remove most of the water from the milk and create a thicker version that could last much longer without refrigeration. And yes, it worked. In 1856, he secured the patent for this invention in the United States. During the American Civil War, sweetened condensed milk became a hit with soldiers. It was easy to transport, didn't spoil quickly, and provided a solid energy boost. After the war, many of those soldiers kept using it at home, and soon it became a household staple across the country. So, how does milk actually get to us today? It all starts on dairy farms. In the US alone, there are over 60,000 dairy farms raising nearly 9 million cows. Over time, the milking process has become way more advanced. In the past, milking was done by hand. Each worker could milk about 6 cows per hour. Today, with modern machines, that number jumps to over 70 cows per hour. On large farms, cows are taken to special milking parlors, some of which look like rotating carousels. Every piece of equipment is carefully cleaned before use to prevent contamination. The cow's udders are washed with special solutions, usually iodine or chlorine, to remove dirt and bacteria. Then milking machines are gently attached to the cows. They work by simulating the natural suction of a calf, drawing milk without causing discomfort. When the milk starts to slow down, the machine automatically turns off so the cow doesn't get stressed. That fresh milk is then transferred to refrigerated tanks kept between 2 and 4 degrees Celsius. Keeping the temperature low is crucial to stop bacteria from growing and to maintain the milk's quality until it reaches the factory. Next, it's time for the milk trucks to roll in. These tanker trucks are designed to keep the milk cold during transport. But before they even leave the farm, technicians run a few quick tests on site, checking the milk smell, color, and acidity levels to make sure everything's just right. During collection, the milk is also checked to make sure it doesn't contain any antibiotic residues and that it's at the correct temperature. Another cool detail: milk trucks usually carry milk from just one farm at a time. That helps maintain quality and trace any issues back to the source if needed. When the milk arrives at the factory, it's unloaded into massive, sterile tanks, waiting to begin the next stage of transformation into the famous sweetened condensed milk. But before any milk is accepted by the plant, it goes through a real safety inspection. Multiple tests are done to ensure the milk is perfectly clean and safe to use. Technicians check if anyone has diluted it with water or added any kind of chemical, and they test for antibiotic or pesticide residues and any harmful contaminants. They also screen for dangerous bacteria that could make people sick. Only if the milk passes all these tests is it approved. Then the truck connects to the factory through sterile hoses, and the raw milk is pumped straight into giant refrigerated tanks. To give you an idea, massive plants like Nestle's in California have tanks that can store up to 2.8 million liters of milk. That's enough to produce more than 20 million cans of sweetened condensed milk. Just imagine that. Once inside these tanks, the milk is filtered again. High-tech sensors monitor everything in real time: the temperature, milk volume, keeping everything under control. The milk doesn't stay here long. Soon, it moves on to the next phase: processing. Since the milk is still raw and high in fat, it goes through a machine called a centrifugal separator. Here's how it works. The milk enters a drum that spins at extremely high speed, and this rotation causes its components to separate. The heavier skimmed milk moves outward to the edges, while the cream, the fat, gathers in the center. Each component is removed through a different outlet, allowing factories to adjust the fat content of the milk as needed. For sweetened condensed milk, the fat level is usually kept between 6% and 10%, depending on the brand's specific recipe. After that, the milk moves on to pasteurization, an essential step that kills harmful microorganisms and helps the product last longer while preserving flavor. In this process, the milk is heated to a temperature between 72 and 75 degrees Celsius for about 15 seconds, then rapidly cooled down to 4 degrees. This technique was developed in 1864 by a French scientist named Louis Pasteur. He discovered that by heating liquids briefly, it was possible to eliminate bacteria without ruining the food. This method transformed the food industry and helped reduce serious illnesses that used to spread through milk, like tuberculosis and brucellosis. Pretty amazing, right? Now for the part you've been waiting for. How does milk actually turn into sweetened condensed milk? After pasteurization, the milk reaches a critical stage: the addition of sugar, and not just a sprinkle. It's a serious amount. But the sugar isn't only for sweetness. It plays an essential role as a natural preservative. Sugar reduces the amount of available water in the milk, which makes it harder for bacteria to grow, extending the product's shelf life. With the sugar fully blended in, the milk heads to vacuum evaporators. These are nothing like the appliances in your kitchen. These machines remove water from the milk at lower temperatures, between 40 and 70 degrees Celsius, because the pressure inside is reduced. That's a big win, since it helps preserve both the flavor and nutrients in the milk. During this step, about 70% of the milk's water content is removed, making it much thicker and richer. Meanwhile, real-time sensors keep a close eye on everything. They track how much fat, protein, sugar, and other solids are in the milk. For sweetened condensed milk, the goal is to have between 25% and 30% total solids. Next comes the rapid cooling stage, where the mixture is chilled down to around 30 degrees Celsius. This prevents bacterial growth and gets the product to just the right temperature for packaging. It's during this phase that recrystallization takes place, a process that helps form tiny sugar crystals. This step is key to achieving that smooth, creamy texture we all expect, without unwanted sugar clumps. Now the sweetened condensed milk is finally ready. It's transferred to sterile holding tanks, and a sample is taken for quality checks. Technicians test if the texture and flavor are exactly as they should be. During the packaging phase, the cans are sterilized using steam, fire, or UV light to kill any remaining microorganisms. Then, the milk is pumped straight from the tanks into filling machines, which dispense the exact amount into each container, whether it's 400 grams, 1 kilogram, or whatever size the brand requires. The entire process is highly automated, fast, precise, hygienic, and designed to avoid waste. Once filled, The cans are sealed in a way that keeps even air out, protecting the product from any possible contamination. Each can or package is then labeled with its production date, expiration date, and a lot number. That information helps ensure traceability and safety. After that, the packaged condensed milk is moved to refrigerated or temperature-controlled storage areas, where it waits to be shipped off to stores and, eventually, to your home. And there you have it. That's how billions of cans of sweetened condensed milk are produced every year around the world. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below telling us where you're watching from and what you thought about the process. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thanks for sticking around till the end. See you in the next one.